can use that method. Or if you're happy enough with the image, if you can save it as a TIFF or as a 16-bit, at least minimum PNG file. There's also JPEGs you can do as well. But from my personal experience, I've found that the JPEG lost some detail. So I highly recommend the other option, which is used an application called Luminance HDR. It's an open source application, and that one will give you extra fine tuning, which you can see yourself. So, all right. Before we begin, I would like to implore you to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments, because the more people subscribe, the more this content gets pushed out to more viewers, and those viewers join this growing community. They post their tips and tricks, or they can post requests, and those requests I'll personally review and then I'll share with everyone. I'd like to thank everybody who subscribed so far this month. Keep it up. We're on another record, so I implore you to subscribe if you can. And speaking of subscriptions, as most of this AI stuff, as I've said before, I really got into it last year, and because of viewers just like you, helped me a lot. So this is my way of giving back. I said, like, I went and researched my own by my own as well. So I understand this stuff, so I'm sharing with you as well. So you should be able to use local AI, only open source models, and generate all this as well. Okay, with that, let's get started. So I have the intro. You see, it's a simple HDR workflow guide. All right, so let's begin. All right, so looks like this window needs to be pushed a little bit around here. I think that should be fine. Yes, okay, that's good. All right, so so do you know, if you don't know what HDR stands for, that means a high dynamic range image. What means that they capture more light from standard photos, and you can create these photos using artificial intelligence today. What I mean by that is, you guys have seen some of my all my Blender Python API tutorials. When I export it as a GLB file for the web, you see I'm now using HDR images. But some of those, what happened was, I noticed is when I started using Born Amateurs, those HDR images, the defaults from Blender, they were not good, not because they are low quality or anything. No, it's simply that they were not meant for my particular use case. So I was thinking, hey, can I generate my own HDR images? And it turns out, yes, you can. You of course, if you have your own photos, you can do the same thing. But I'm saying is, we're gonna use because, for example, like right now, at the time of this recording, it's Canada right here. So for example, if you want to, except for today when it happens to be sunny, but I'm saying that if I wanted some light, for example, I want the snow or something like that, that's fine. But I'm just saying that I don't want to go outside take photos, what I'm getting at. So I'm saying that if I can get AI to generate exactly what I want, that's perfect. For me, I've explained this before several times. If you could, I just did a night stream not too long ago. Is that I'm using Fedora Linux as my distribution of choice, because it's very easy for AI workflow. So it's very easy to install RockM as well, probably the easiest way, even easier than downloading it from the AMD website on Fedora. Obviously, Fedora Linux, as I've shown before, they do share with OpenSUSE the maintenance of the RockM packages. So I'm guessing OpenSUSE is another one that's going to be pretty straightforward to install RockM packages. So I have an AMD Instinct MI60. It's a server grade GPU. The reason I got it because it was way cheaper than buying a equivalent one for consumer. The only problem is it didn't come with any cooling apparatus, so I bought a fan shroud that sits on top of it, and then it came with a 40mm fan which blows cool air right through. That's how it gets cooled, and I'll show you that setup when we actually start this. So the MI60 has 32 gigs of HB2 memory. This hardware is perfect for modern graph generative workflows. Now, you do not need something this powerful to generate AI, especially HDR images, and I'll show you can use quantized versions. And that's actually, I'm going to use one as well, because my GPU, it's fastest when the weights are integer 8. So that's why I'm going to use Q8 for both the clip, that's the text encoder, and the model itself. It's going to be Q8. Alright, so obviously ComfyUI does use Python, but if you don't want to install any Python packages, you can obviously use something like stable-diffusion, which is C++, and you guys have seen me, I try to do one at least once a week or every other week at least, so you can see that as well. So, but for this particular one, I'm going to use ComfyUI just because it's the most popular one and most people are very comfortable using it. So obviously it's going to use Python, and you need obviously ROCm installed or NVIDIA if you have a NVIDIA GPU. And then make sure you install Luminance HDR. That's the application that we're going to use after the image has been generated, and I'll show you how to use that as well. So basically, yes, download the ZImage Turbo. I said I use the GGUF files, and you also need a text encoder which uses a Gamma 3 12 billion parameter text encoder. And what else is here? Yeah, so as I said, the other thing, if for what I decided to do was, because by default the ComfyUI workflow, it uses just standard JPEGs or the basically 8-bit versions. So they're lacking some of the data. They lose too much data. So the good thing about using TIFF files is that they're 16-bit by default, so you have much more information in them. There's also, as I said, there's also a node that you can download to generate the HDR. But I said that the problem, I'm not saying anything bad about it. I'm just saying that if you want more fine control, I highly recommend using Luminance HDR, and I'll show you that as well. So as you can see here, the gist of it is you generate your image. So this is the same image, and then you see you're going to basically create one which will be a base image, and then you create one which have a dark part and a light part. So that's basically what an HDR image is. That's literally it. So as you can see here, this is my ComfyUI workflow, and then this is the one from Luminance HDR. And I will so, and obviously I'm gonna stop it right about here, and let me see if I have the links to the Luminance HDR. Where are they? Where are you here? Okay, so I'll show you the ComfyUI. I got a node. It's called HQ image save because it's not installed by default. It doesn't come default by in ComfyUI. So this one I use this by space PXL. You see it's ComfyUI -HQ -image -save. So what this one does is you're able to load EXR files, and you can also save. So this one you can already save. You can save EXR files. So EXR files are already HDR. So you can see you can do RGB, RGBA, and you can do 32 BPC EXR as well. So as I said before, you can simply just save it as an EXR right there, right in ComfyUI, and then you can also save TIFF. So this one I'm going to use. TIFF is 16-bit, and although it's outdated, this one is still good enough for our particular workflow. And then yeah, so that's it. So obviously the EXR is 32-bit, that will obviously be better quality, but I said for this particular tutorial we're going to save it as a TIFF, and then we will also so you can go read about all this information here as well. As I said, we use the TIFF images. They're perfectly fine. Alright, and then the yeah, so you can go to Hugging Face or GitHub or anywhere else and get the model. So I said we've done that in previous tutorials. Again, I'll just I don't even bother here, but okay, fine, I'll go to Hugging Face just for you guys. So Hugging Face, pick one of them here, doesn't really matter which one. Hugging Face, and you just search for ZImage Turbo. You see, when you search for ZImage Turbo, Unsloth has this ZImage Turbo GGUF, so this one I'm going to pick. And I said I'm using the Q8. The Q8 size is about 7.22 gigabytes. What I'm saying is pick one that fits your workflow. If you have enough VRAM. For example, if you have like a 10 gig card, or probably even an 8 gig would probably be a little bit too small, but yeah, if you can pick. And obviously if you want even better quality, if you can handle the BF16, I can handle the F16, that's natively supported. My card doesn't natively support BF16, but it does support this F16, which is 12.3 gigabytes, so I could probably run that one as well. So the reason why I decided to go with the Q8 instead of the F16 is because number one is the space, and also number two, I'll come back to space in a second. Number two is that my GPU is fastest at integer 8, so that's why I prefer this one. Now, if I had the space, I would definitely get this for better quality, but I said I'm storage space wise, I'm kind of constrained, so that's why I said I got. That's another reason. If I was further constrained, I would probably go all the way down to Q4, but I'm saying all this. What I found about the Z Image Turbo is that all the Q4s and up. Obviously, I've tested some Q3s; they're actually pretty good. I haven't tested the Q2 yet, but I've definitely tested the Q3 and up. They all came out surprisingly pretty decent, very good for my use case. Okay, so that's where you get. And obviously, if you don't know about ComfyUI, you go to the ComfyUI. ComfyUI.org. There's also a GitHub page, so you can go to ComfyUI.org, and then it's a cross-platform because it runs in a web browser. You can pick which one works for you. All right, so let's close these guys up. Oh, did I show you? Yeah, Luminance. This is I showed you the Luminance application. Okay, so with that said, I am going to go now and so this is I'll show you my folder here. I have this ComfyUI folder. I already have it before, but it hasn't been updated, I think, for about 3 or 4 days, so I'll update that. And then this is the cooling application I use for the AMD Instinct MI60. Now, I'll show you my specs. Besides so I'll just show you this very quickly. So you see, I have 6 cores, 12 threads. I have a Ryzen 5 5600 GT. The G obviously for integrated graphics. I use integrated graphics to plug in the monitors. The dedicated one is the dedicated graphics only used for AI and Blender and video editing when I can. In Linux, it's very hard to get the GPU to work just for video editing at this time, but hopefully in the future we'll be able to do that. So as you can see, yeah. So you don't need too much. You don't need a very powerful GPU or anything like that for the Z Image Turbo. You can run even on your CPU. I said you can use Stable Hyphen Diffusion. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do here, I'm just going to put this here. You guys probably don't need, you can pay attention to what I'm doing, but it's basically what I'm saying is just get ready and have your ComfyUI ready to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start up the cooling application. So it's called Cooler Control D. Unfortunately, I have to run it as with elevated permissions, so it's running here. This is also a web application. I'll show you that in a few minutes. Then I'm gonna CD into my ComfyUI here folder. Then I'll do a git pull. Yeah, you see I'll zoom out a little bit. So there's been a few things. I said I haven't run this now, so there's some changes here, as you can see. Then I'm also going to go to the custom. Now, some of you guys might be saying, why did you use the ComfyUI manager? The reason I don't use the ComfyUI manager is because by default, some nodes, they'll discover that there's no NVIDIA on my system, so they'll try to install the NVIDIA driver. So as I said, remember, I am very limited with space, so storage space, so I can't have all that craft. So that's why I do remove it. Not because I dislike it. There's a reason I have to remove it. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the custom nodes folder, and I always do this manually. So so what I did here is I just did a git clone. As you guys, if you do remember, last year I went through. There's a bunch of. I should make that into a course. There's a git. So don't just simply put git clone, always put like depth one. That way you get the top level one. You don't want to get the entire history. So yeah, so then basically that's all I did. I just did a git clone. I'll show you the exact command that I ran. See, it was git clone space hyphen hyphen depth1. Then that's what I did. Then I pressed enter. Then after that, I went inside that folder after I activated the virtual environment. And then after that, all I did was a pip install. I'll show you what I did here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna run it because I do need it activated. So you see it's in the config folder. I activated it, and you see you get this virtual environment for Python. Then inside it, I just put a C. I did pip install R requirements dot text. But I've already done that, so I don't need to do that anymore. But what I do need to do is I do need to update all my all my custom nodes. So I do have a for loop here which loops through all of them and does a git pull. So this is way faster than using the config manager, right? So after that, I'll just cd to one place, and then because I did the git pull for the config, all I need to do now is just do the pip space install -r requirements dot text. So this, you see, it's downloading all the new stuff for the config front end manager. It's done. That's it. Now they usually tell you to run Python. So this is the command they always tell you to run. It's Python space main.py, right? That's what they always tell you to run. And most people, that's probably fine because it's actually very good. However, I want to squeeze some performance, and I know the limitations of my particular GPU. So my GPU doesn't have, for example, flash attention. It doesn't have some other type of cross attention, but it does have quad attention. So that one I always run. So what I do is I do run it with some parameters, and I'll show you what those are. You see, so I tell you to use quad cross attention because my GPU does support that. Most older GPUs do support that. And then reserve VRAM 2, so this way I won't get the out of memory errors. And then I put cache none because what I found was it was caching the wrong places. So I wanted cache none, and I know where I want it to be cached. So I just get a node to cache it there. And you see that's use quad attention. So then just press enter. And we'll let this run. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. There we go. That should be fine. I'm going to take this out of here for now. If you join the live chat, your chat will appear somewhere around here. Like, for example, the spam I keep on getting from, what is it, Kick. Alright, so this guy, when this guy is ready, I'll show you what it looks like. It will detect my GPU, of course. I'm running Wacom 6.4. It's not officially supported on the GPU is not officially supported on Wacom 6.4, but all AMD did was it just removed the tensor files. So if you add them back manually, it works. And as I've shown you guys in all previous tutorials, is that the next version of Fedora, which will be Fedora 44, come out in spring. Fedora, obviously an open source, they're going to support my GPU again, meaning that it will be, I'll still run. Now, AMD is no longer supporting, meaning there won't be any bug fixes, but it will still run, which is great. Alright, so as you can see here, by the way, I'm running Python 3.14 as well, so you're able to run config with Python 3.14. Obviously, there's some wheels and stuff that haven't been updated for it, but it does work. So you can see here now this is ready. You can simply just click here on the command line and it will open up in the default web browser, but I want to use a specific web browser, so I won't click this. Instead, what I'll do is let's see. I'll put this here. What I'll do is I'll use the Chromium browser because that one has a WebGL. I don't know. I think this Fire whatever it's called, it will also work, but I don't want to take any chances. So alright, I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm actually going to, for the first time, I'm going to do the duo. I'm going to do the duo, what do you call it? The duo. I'm going to do the duo screen, split screen. You guys don't need to see the cooling part. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go, I think it's 8. Yeah, so this is the one that, this is the Comfy Y. I didn't realize I have this. Okay, that's fine. Oh, this was from this was the LTX when I did a night stream. I actually managed to get it working with audio. I was really shocked that it actually worked. I thought that would be a fail. So the next one I'm going to do here is, if I right click here, I should be able to split this. Yeah, split view. That's what I want, and I can make, yeah, that's fine, doesn't. So I can make this a little bit bigger right there. So all I care about is this part here. So in here, the next tab, I'm going to type, I think it's 1. Yeah, there we go. That's the cooling apparatus. So if you're in a vertical stream, you want to see this, but it doesn't really matter. I've already told you my Ryzen 5 5600 GT. This is the dedicated graphics here. This is the integrated graphics down here. And the thing that powers the dedicated one is System Fan 2. So we just click System Fan 2, and here we go. I usually put it about 35, and that should be perfectly fine. This top chat, I don't know what comes up there. Okay, so now the Comfy Y, all I do is I click this guy back here. So this is the image turbo. So as you can see here, this is my, it's just the default Z image turbo in Comfy Y. It's the default one. So I made a few changes, obviously. Let me zoom in here. I made a few changes. So as I said before, I'm using the Q8 version of the model. Also for the Quen 3 4B Instruct, I'm using the GGUF. And then for the VAE loader, I decided to, because I think that one was F8, FP8. So I decided to get this one, which is, this one I found, it's a Pig Flux VAE FP32, FP16, because that's what's supported on my, my GPU supports FP16, FP8. I'd like to have a Q8 version, that would be nice, but I couldn't find one. So this is perfect, and you see here, you choose Luminance 2. Sorry, Lumina 2. Alright, so after that, oops, I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and then we can go here. So the other thing down here, this part is not so important, but I couldn't find a switch which didn't want to install NVIDIA stuff. So all I did was I created my own switch. You see, I just use the latent batch, and then I can pick which one. So I use this for the when I need to generate images. Sorry, text to image or image to image. So if I want an image to image, you see I load the image here, and it goes into here sample 2, and then oops, what did I do there? Did I mess up here? Must have done. What did I do? Oh, okay, I zoomed in too much. Okay, I keep on forget. Oh, I can move around. Okay, I didn't realize. Okay, so where was I here? Load image. Okay, here we go. And then I put another latent from batch, and then 0 is obviously only text to image, and I switch this to 1, and then if I switch this to 1, then it will be the image to image. And then the only other thing I need to do is here in the denoise, I leave it at 1. That means it's going to take the text prompt. If I start fooling around with this number like 0.9, then it will take some of the, it will use obviously the text prompt as well versus the initial image, and the rest of the stuff is all the same. So one thing you might notice here, I think I still have it. Yeah, here we go. You see this one here? I think this is the preview. The preview, I can't tell. Oh, save. It saved TIFF. It says save TIFF. So it can right now it's set to both, so we can do both. I'll do both, and just to show you the difference. So I'm going. So this is the node. I'll show you the node here. I will. Where's the bypass? You see, it's called save TIFF. It's HD image save. Remember that node I just showed you guys? So it's save TIFF, and this is this is where it will save the TIFF file to. So it will just save it here, and there's no preview. You can pull a preview, so that's why this guy's here. But I'm gonna leave both of them because why not? This shouldn't take too long. So what I'm gonna do is not to waste time. How much time has already passed? Wow. Okay, that was a lot of time. Me talking too much there. So I'm gonna change this prompt because this prompt was used, I believe, for the this prompt was used for the LTX, the image to video. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this prompt and put a prompt that we can use for our we can do more, but we can do more images, but so basically what you need, I said, is you need 3 you know what, let me actually start running it, then I can talk so not to waste time. So first thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to put this at 35 for the fan, so it's going to be a little bit loud. 35, and then I'll explain what's happening. So I'm going to put this prompt in here and get this started and hit run. So what's going to happen is, let me zoom out here so you guys can see what's going on. When it finishes, at least it will, we'll know when it finishes because it will put it here. And then what I would also, we can also look here as well. So this particular prompt is perfect for showing off the dynamic range in glass and shadows. So this is basically, it's a high key architecture with a modern interior. So the first image is the normal exposure, or it's also called EV0. Then after that we're going to do something that is the same. It's going to be the same prompt, but this time we're going to underexpose it. So it's going to be EV-2. Then after that we're going to create an overexposed of the same prompt. It's going to be overexposed +2, EV +2. And then that's basically, when you combine them all together, that's so now you guys might be saying, wait a minute, why aren't you making 8K? Well, the reason I'm not making it 8K, as you saw, it's going to be 1280 by 720, which is basically just HD, is because I don't want to take too long. Now it's very fast, as you can see here. It's going to be very fast, but I'm saying is this is a tutorial. Some of you guys might not, your systems might not be able to handle something like that. So this image was done. I'll show you the image, but I want to let me run the next prompt. So the next prompt, I'll read you all the prompts. I'll read the first prompt and I'll read the second prompt to you guys. And I'll just hit run. So the first prompt was a hyper-realistic wide shot of a modern glass-walled villa living room overlooking a snowy mountain range. Interior features a velvet sofa and a polished marble floor with soft reflections. Shot on a Hasselblad 8K sharp focus, balanced natural light, natural daylight, realistic interior lighting. The second prompt is done very quickly, so let me run the third prompt and I'll read the second prompt to you guys. The second prompt was the same thing, except this time it's shot in Hasselblad 8K sharp focus, low key exposure, deep shadows, interior is dark, highlights in the snow outside are perfectly preserved and visible through the glass. Okay. Now you see this one takes a so the third one is same as before, but this time it's short on Hasselblad 8K sharp focus, high key exposure, bright glowing interior, shadow details in the velvet sofa, and dark corners are clearly visible. Exterior windows are blown out white. So that's the third prompt. Some of you guys may be able to see this, which is good, or you can just zoom in. So I'm going to now create the second image, which is going to be the golden hour landscape. So I'll read that to you guys. A cinematic landscape over a widening river through a jagged canyon during golden hour. The sun is just above the horizon. Photorealistic, ultra-detailed rock textures, 8K, warm orange sunlight, and balanced sky and earth tones. Okay, so then now I'm going to do the exposure -2, so meaning it's underexposed. So this one, it's going to be dark, underexposed shot. The sun is a crisp orange disk. Sky gradients are deep purple and gold. Canyon walls are in heavy silhouette. Okay, then I'll get the overexposure one, which will be +2. Get ready to get started here. The funny thing is, I've been using this image turbo, but I still haven't optimized it, so it's going fast. I can probably get it down to like 3 seconds, but I'm a little bit lazy, I guess. So this one is the same as before, except this one is obviously bright, overexposed shot. The canyon flow and river details are highly visible in the shadows. The sky is a brilliant wash of light. Okay, next, after that one, we're going to do a new cyberpunk neon contrast. So I'll read that to you guys as well. It's a rain-slicked Tokyo street at night. Neon signs in cyan and magenta reflected in puddles. A lone figure in a tech wear jacket walks away. 8K photorealistic dark night exposure. Neon tubes are sharp and not blurry. Light reflections on the wet pavement are crisp. Shadows are pure black. Alright, then now we're going to do the overexposure version. This one is basically details in the dark alleyways are visible. Neon lights are soft, dreamy bloom effect. Oh, is that it? I don't know which one I did. I don't know how many images I've actually. Oh, this is the. Okay, I'm not sure how many images I just did, so I have to go check them. Give me a second. So let's go check them out. I think I might have missed one image. So we go to output. Where is output? Where did I miss output? Oh, output here. So 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. Yeah, I was right. I did miss one. I think the one I missed was the middle one, which is the wet pavement. I think I missed dark. Oh yeah, I missed the light one. I believe I missed the light one. I thought it was visible neon lights. Yeah, I think I missed the light one. So let me do that one. I did read it, but I forgot to paste it in here. And we'll take a look. Hopefully I hope I didn't mess things up here. We should do take a look. Hopefully they're all different. I'll show you all of them. Just give me a second. I think, yeah, I can tell they're different. Let me just make sure. So this is the original one, and this is the one that is more exposed, and this one should be the one that's dark. Yes, perfect. Okay. Alright, so alright, so let me get rid of this. Alright, fine, perfect. Okay, so we got our images. The images are all here. As you can see, it says Comfy UI, the images, you see 8, 9. These are kind of reversed. This should be the first one, this should be the second, and this should be the last one. And so here's a perfect one. You see this one, you can tell this is the original one, this is the underexposed, and then the overexposed. And then what else is here? And then this is the first one. You can see this is the original one, this is the underexposed, and this is overexposed. So that's basically all you need. Just need 3 images. All right, now since we're done here, so you see they're all saved as TIFF files, right? TIFF. Oh, I think it might also have saved them as the regular Z-Image Turbo ones as well. So let's go check a look at one of them, because I did not remove those. Where's the bottom? Yeah, it also saved them as PNG files. So we can see here, if we go here, you see there's really not too much difference. For example, if I go to the next one, I think that one will even be more, what do you call it? So let's take a look at this one. Doesn't look too bad actually. PNG, it's actually not too bad. It's not too bad. It's actually not too bad. Okay, so that's a PNG, but the TIFF, as I said, it's it will have more detail, so that's what we're going to use. All right. So now we're done with this. So actually, I'm going to shut this down. We don't need. I'm going to shut this down because we don't need it. So I'm just going to close this. Yes, I want to leave. I don't want to save anything. So I'm just going to Control C. And here Control C as well. We don't need the terminal anymore, or do we? Huh. All right, so next we're going to use Luminance HDR. So I don't remember if I got it for where I got it. Oh yeah, I do remember. I think I got it from the Software Center. So I think this is where I downloaded from the Software Center. So you just go to search, just type Luminance, and you see Luminance HDR. So this is the one we want, and it gives me 2 options. There's one from Fedora Linux, or the RPM version, or I can get the Flatpak version. So I'm gonna try to install it this way from the Fedora repositories. Hopefully it works. One thing that's weird about using this software application is that after it finishes installing, it will say, oh, I don't see. Then it will refresh again and say, I don't know why it says unable to install now. Okay, so that's fine. I don't care. So I will have to. That was a bit weird. That's fine. I'll just install it from the command line. Sudo dnf install Luminance HDR, Luminance-HDR. Okay, so it's a pretty small program, as you can see here. Oh, it's Qt5. I think that's a problem because it's using Qt5. I think maybe Fedora removed Qt5 by default, so or maybe it doesn't work in flat. So that should be perfect. Okay, so the application has been installed. So it also uses ImageMagick. So here we go. I'm gonna open it up. I'll just type Luminance HDR, and this is it says it's an open source software and its development requires hundreds of work. If you like, using it in your HDR workflow, you'd like to see gradually improve, please support these authors by making a donation. I'd like to make a donation for Luminance. Now, that's up to you. Alright, so this is the application. I think if I remember correctly, I was not able to resize this properly. Oh, maybe I was wrong. Oh, I am, okay. I thought I had a problem. Oh, I think it was one of those game engines. Okay, instead. Okay, here we go. Now, don't be intimidated with this application. It's really, really easy to use. Don't worry. At first, I was a little bit overwhelmed because I'm like, oh my goodness, there's so many options. It's actually really easy. It's actually really, really, really easy. I got you guys covered. So, what you do is you click on New HDR Image. Okay, and then this is where the magic happens. You see, there's no loaded files right now. So what we need to do is simply load our images. So what you do is you click on the plus icon here, obviously for the new image, and then you pick your images. So you see here for the tutorial, I already had this ones 2, 3, and 4. So I'll use this one, but we can grab the ones from the from the photo. So I'll use this one because this is the tutorial. So I grab the first image. I think, can I grab all of them? I can't remember if I can grab all of them. Oh yeah, I can. Okay, so I'll just click open. It says XCF data is not found because obviously they're HDR images. That's perfectly fine. Shutter speed, that's perfectly fine. We don't need that. So you see, by default, it found the images. So what it's asking is which one is the underexposure, which one is the exposure, and which one is the other one. So if we actually go to that folder, I completely forgot about that folder as well. This is the one here. We can simply take a look here and decide which image is which. So clearly this is the default one. So number 2. So this one here, number 2, is actually the is 000. This one here. So you just click on that, and you change it to. Oops, you change that to 0. Okay, I'll just type it in here. 0. Okay, 2 is actually the 0, and then 3 is the one that's underexposed. Right, so 3 is underexposed. So the dark, if you will. So 3 here, this one is the one that's underexposed, so this one should be the one that's negative. So it's going to be -2. Okay, and then the 4 is the one that's overexposed. You see, you can just tell here, just in case you have a problem. I'll just open them up again so we can compare them. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. Really small for you guys. Okay, so this is the original one, so I'll put that down here. Open this one up. I don't know why it's opening up super wide. Yeah, I don't know what's opening up full screen. It doesn't make any sense. So this is the underexposed one, and clearly this one is the overexposed one. Okay, so you guys can tell the quick difference here is very simple, right? So you can see this is the normal one. So this one is 0. This is -2 underexposed, and this is the overexposed. Basically, this one is the brightest. This is just the general one. We generate something, and then this one is underexposed. Underexposed, overexposed, and this is just exposure 0. So as you can see, so 2, which one is 2? Okay, I can make this bigger so I can see the names. Yeah, so 2 is going to be 0. This one, 3 is going to be -2, and 4 is going to be +2. That's all you need to pay. Actually, you know what? I should have actually put them here. I should put them here so we can also pay attention. There we go. Okay, so 2, 3, and 4. So you can tell the difference, 2, 3, and 4. right? So 2 again, normal, 3 underexposed, 4 overexposed. So that's perfectly fine. Then after that, there's some other options. You don't have to touch any of them. Don't have to touch any of them. So just click next. When you go to this part here, it's going to give you some options. For example, it will ask you the profile to use. You see it's DBVEC, and it says the creation model here. You can pick DBVEC, or you can also pick Robotuson. Robotuson. I don't know Robotuson here, but yeah. So I just leave that as well. I don't know why I can't. Oh, I have to pick custom. If you click custom, then you'll be able to pick Robotuson here. But this one, the debug is perfectly fine. But I said so. Then after that, you just click on Compute HDR. So you don't have to touch any of that stuff. Just click Compute HDR. Then it's going to ask you about this stuff here. Just leave it as is. You don't have to touch anything. So just put accept this HDR. Then you see what it did right here. It put all of them here. You can see this. You can see what it did here on this pane right here. So if you want to make any changes, for example, on the tone map here, it's using Manituk 06. That's perfectly fine. You might want to change some of the settings. For example, the contrast factor 0.10 is perfectly fine. And then for the saturation factor, there are other factors. I'll show you those in a second. And then the detail factor, if you want to change any of this, but there's really no need to change any of these. There's really no reason. So you can see there's different other ones here. You can pick 8, etc., etc. There's really no need. For example, if you're going to pick Renard 2 is another good one. So if you pick Renard 2, I would leave the key value at 0.8. That's a good one as well. And then let's go back to oops, what's the other one? Yeah, so but I'm going to leave it. There's also hyper, so that's perfectly fine. I'm going to leave it at Monac. And then yeah, so I'm going to leave it at that. I'm pretty much okay with that. Under processing, everything is perfectly fine here. So we just click next. So why is it not working? Oh, okay. So that's perfectly fine. So now, you can update settings. If you make a change, make sure you update settings. I'm pretty happy with this. So all you have to do now is simply just go to File, or you can put Save As here. You can just go to File, and then you go to Save As. You can save each image preview, but I just clicked Save As here, and this is what I choose: Architecture EXR, or whatever name you want. You see this says all HDR formats. So you can open XER, you can do HDR TIFF, you can do Radiance RGB, you can do PSF, but I want to use OpenEXR. So I'm going to use OpenEXR, and that's perfectly fine. I hit save. And that's fine. I'm going to replace it, and it's done. That's all you need to do. Now, some of you might be wondering, hey, wait a minute. Why is it black here? It's not showing up. Well, that's because my operating system, the GNOME desktop, doesn't read EXR images. So, but GIMP does, and other obviously 3JS. So what you do is just right click on this. You can go to open with, and we're going to use GIMP, and it should show up in GIMP. Hopefully, there we go. So this is how it shows up in GIMP, and obviously this is a little bit way too dark, as you can see. So that's what I'm saying, is that you have to fool around with some of those numbers, and you can do the preview as well. So let me close this. So that's why yeah, even here I guess it's way too dark. I guess it's trying to show a preview, but it's way too dark. So you can fool around with these changes. Like I said, you can make the saturation fast, and yeah, so then you can do the preview. You see update preview. So this is what the preview will look like here. So this one is way too dark still, so I think I will I'll increase the saturation and see what that does. It's still way too dark for me. So I'm going to change the detail factor here. It's a little bit, okay, oh, that's too dark. I guess I have to drop it the other way. Okay, I'll drop down the saturation, contrast. There we go. So I think I'll increase the contrast here. I have to increase the saturation as well. Okay, so let me try this one. I'll save this one. I'll just hit save, save as. Okay, that's HDR. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Save. Oh, that's not what I want. What is going on here? Why is it not letting me save the... Did I click something off? Oh, I put okay, I put LDO here. That's not what I want. So this one here is preview. But it says LDL, doesn't let me save the HDR. Okay, I don't know if that's a bug. It's saying that, but okay, let me click maybe save all will work. No, save all doesn't work, and I don't want to click new. Okay, so I don't know why it's not letting me save the image after I've made a few changes. But yeah, so that's basically the tutorial. Use the what do you call it? You can use the what do you call it? Yeah, so you can use LDL, sorry, Luminance HDR, and the version I'm using is 2.6.11 at the time of this recording to create your HDR images. Okay, so will I be using this in the future? You bet I will, because I said now I can actually, next time I create a game asset or something and I need, instead of downloading or using inappropriate for my object HDR images, I can clearly just use this and be able to save the create my own HDR images. Alright, so let's see, open HDR. Let me see if I can open an HDR image. The one which I've just saved. Let's go to ZZ tutorial, Luminance LLL. Where is L? Here we go. I'm going to see if I can open up just the HDR images. Ah, this is the image it opened up. I wonder why it's coming up dark. It seems to have all the data here. So yeah, so this was the one I was saved. It looks like it has all the data. I don't know why it's that is super weird. If I go to save as, oh, if I go to save as, it detects it's an all HDR. Okay, so there we go. Now I can save it. TIFF and all this stuff. Okay, there we go. So I figured that out. So it's not a bug. I guess it's just a quirk. Alright, so that's it. I'm going to close this. And let's finish up this tutorial. I've taken a little bit too much of your time. So if you're ready to take your skills further, this workflow combined AI speed with professional photography tools. The MI60 handles the heavy lifting with its large VRAM. Fedora provides a stable environment for these advanced open source tools. You can now create a stunning HDR image at home. So I have books. They're available on Amazon. Search for Adobe Jumbo. The link is in the description. I also have courses at adojumboshop.com. The link is also in the description. And if you want one-on-one tutorials, you can contact me on ojambo.com/contact, or you can get me for consultations at ojamboservices.com/contact. I do have some other recommended resources. I wrote my first novelette last year. It's called The Algorithmic Serpent. See, by me at Ojambo. It's about an AI scientist who creates an AI system and loses his mind. So this psychological thriller is available in paperback and ebook form. I'll talk about the ebooks in a second, in a few minutes, sorry. My greatest one is this one, the Recession Business Blueprint. That's a guide to help you start a business during a recession. And if you have any questions or queries, you can contact me. I'll show you how to do that later. So all my books, there are ebook versions. If you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read them and get them for free. And then, if you want to know more about me, I'm a software engineer. I'm also an author, and hopefully I'll be an influencer in the future. You can explore my book page on Amazon. If you need support for consultation service, ojamboservices.com, and if you're ready to learn, ojamboshop.com for the online courses. There's a comment form here. You can use it to post things up to 14 days after the article goes live. For example, this one today, we talked about AI, obviously Z Image Turbo, we talked about ComfyUI, we talked about Luminance, HDR images, how to generate them, TIFF images, all that is perfectly fine. But the best way to contact me is to use the contact forms, ojambo.com/contact, ojamboservices.com/contact, and ojamboshop.com/contact. And if you want to follow me, the channels are Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute, YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. And with that, I'd like to implore you to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments, because the more people subscribe, the more this content gets pushed out to more viewers. Those viewers can join this growing community, post tips and tricks, or they can request something which I will personally review, then I'll share with everyone. I share everything. I'd like to thank everybody subscribed so far this month. I really, really appreciate that. Keep it up. Okay, now I'm going to show the outro, which is the same as the intro. Simple AI HDR workflow. So I'll go scroll up here. And yeah, if you want to see what's upcoming, you simply go to jambo.com. Go watch many live summaries. So we just finished this tutorial. Tomorrow we're going to do a podcast. Show you which one to choose between Podman and Docker. A few of the viewers have requested that, so I'm going to strictly podcast that. After that, we're going to do something fun. We're going to install OpenVM on a Raspberry Pi Zero W. And then after that, we will use the gdevelop to build a game. And it also has a local AI assistant, so I'll show you how to set all that up. And then after that, there will be something I'm going to actually work on it today, because I've been a little bit busy, but I'm going to work on that today. So fill this up. This will be 5 things here. And also, I want to fill this fun part up. I'll probably, some of the games I've created, I'll probably maybe spruce them up just a little bit and slap them down here. And obviously, these are all the categories. So this is basically what we'll be doing most of in 2026. Okay. And as for the live chat, I don't see anything here, so I will then stop this, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. Bye now.